Faouzia doesn't merely sing about heartbreak, she orchestrates it into a breathtaking portrait of love's power, pride's illusion, and regret's inevitable reckoning. And a massive thank you for the immense generosity for those folks displayed on screen who get to enjoy bonus perks and benefits as YouTube channel members and patrons. Okay, Birthday by Faouzia. Here we go. It's been a while. Oh, it sounds happy. Are we having a picnic? Fancy picnic. Oh.
Some across the world, telling yourself you'll find someone else. Hold on to that faith.
Oh, beautiful.
I've been here like 4 hours, trying to find the words.
Great runs.
If you had the goal to give me a call, I know what to say.
Just, firstly, her vocal is, as per usual, outstanding. But the writing though. So very much typical Faouzia, being so exquisitely restrained, because the lyrics derive their emotional potency not from grand declarations, but from the quiet geography of absence. Don't know where you are now, somewhere across the world. Now, that establishes distance as both a physical and psychological landscape, painting separation with remarkable economy while allowing our imagination to fill the vast expanse between the two souls. Now, as a result, what follows is particularly compelling. Telling yourself you'll find someone else, hold on to that faith. Now, that for me is less of an accusation than a bittersweet act of projection. She imagines the other person rehearsing hope, perhaps as a means of convincing themselves that moving on is possible, whilst simultaneously revealing that they themselves have spent, like 4 hours trying to find the words. And that juxtaposition is wonderfully human. Because I'm sure some of you or most of you have been in that position. One person is imagined to be rebuilding a future while the other remains suspended in the painstaking labor of articulating the past. And then the next line I found particularly interesting, because there's this delicious sting of, if you had the goal to give me a call. Now, the word goal that is used there is inspired because it carries both indignation and lingering affection. So that suggests to me that reaching out would require extraordinary audacity after whatever has transpired. Yet, in the very next breath, Faouzia confesses, I know what to say. Now that's exposing a beautifully crafted contradiction. They feign emotional preparedness while simultaneously admitting they have spent hours searching for the very words they claim to possess. And you know what? That's a paradox, certainly masking uncertainty, confidence concealing vulnerability, and that just elevates the lyric beyond a simple breakup narrative and into something profoundly authentic, which is capturing the extraordinary complexity of the conversations we endlessly rehearse but may never actually have. Okay, that was some long-winded exposition from me, but let us continue. I'm already really enjoying this.
Give me a call, I know what to say.
Interesting.
When I'm knee-deep in emotion, it's almost at my hips. My lips are open, I'm gonna breathe it in. I think I'm drowning, the rush is in my head. I feel it pounding.
Oh, great writing.
I'm way too young for this, and I don't wanna miss your celebration. What's gonna happen with the decorations I put up with my bare hands, love and patience? I gave you all.
Sorry, before we get to the chorus, the writing With her, I find myself pausing a lot because of the amount of depth in her lyricism. It's something else. She is by far one of the best lyricists I've heard in contemporary music. She deserves to be way bigger than she is. But anyway, let's take a look at those lyrics. Again, her songwriting is as beautiful as she is. This is just an absolute masterclass in emotional escalation. So Faouzia transforms intangible feelings into something startlingly physical. I'm knee-deep in emotion, she sings. Now that immediately personifies grief as a rising tide, but the progression to "it's almost at my hips," that creates the unsettling impression that these emotions are steadily engulfing her. Each line is just raising the water level until my lips are open, I'm gonna breathe it in, I think I'm drowning. I mean, it's brilliant, isn't it? That is such a clever piece of extended metaphor because drowning here isn't merely about despair. It is about the involuntary nature of heartbreak. You don't choose to inhale the water. It happens because survival instincts fail beneath overwhelming circumstances. It's really just such brilliant writing from her, as per usual. And the next line that came in, "The rush is in my head, I feel it pounding." So that shifts from external imagery to internal sensation, allowing us as the audience to feel the relentless pulse of anxiety, panic, as well as intrusive thought. Then, almost without warning, the lyric pivots from the abstract to the painfully domestic. I'm way too young for this. It is astonishingly vulnerable admission. It's stripped of metaphor before arriving at, I don't want to miss your celebration. So now, first time listening to the song, I suddenly understand that this isn't merely a breakup song. It's a meditation on absence during a moment that should have been shared. And the closing lines of this section are particularly interesting. "The decorations that I put up with my bare hands, love and patience." So those are especially poignant because the decorations cease to be mere pretty ornaments. They become symbols of emotional investment. Now, pay attention to bare hands. So that evokes labor, sacrifice, and personal effort, while love and patience reminds us that meaningful relationships, much like meaningful celebrations, are painstakingly assembled over time. Look, I expect this from her because in just a handful of lines, Faouzia contrasts the monumental force of overwhelming emotion with the quiet intimacy of shared rituals, and that's revealing that the greatest heartbreak often lies not in dramatic farewells, but in watching something you lovingly built become a celebration you are no longer invited to attend. Okay, let us continue onwards.
I put up with my bare hands, love and patience. I gave you all of your power. I wrapped it in a bow for your birthday.
Okay.
Your friends act like you're famous now, and I'm like, alright, okay. I put you high in that tower, and you can't even mind to look down, babe. Your
Oh,
friends
wow.
act like you're famous now, and I'm like, alright, okay, alright, okay, okay. Your grab burns like cigarettes pressed to my face. Alright, okay, okay. You'll live a life to realize it's your mistake now.
Oh, that run. Wait, one more time.
Life to realize it's your mistake now.
Oh, so good. My ears are happy. Wow, it's very difficult to focus because the vocals are extraordinary, but the lyrics, oh, and I love the songs. Okay, let's just take a look at it. Yeah, this is going to be kind of a lengthy reaction. The lyrics are unbelievable. So this is the chorus, and it's remarkably sophisticated because it disguises a profound examination of power, ego, and emotional labor beneath the guise of a celebratory motif. I gave you all of your power. I wrapped it in a bow for your birthday. It's extraordinary as an opening. It's reframing love not as something merely shared, but as something actually bestowed, I would say. The birthday present becomes a metaphor for validation itself, as though Fauzia's affection, encouragement, and unwavering belief were the very gifts that elevated this person into who they have become. Now, that makes the line that follows after that feel like a sting with even greater force. Your friends act like you're famous now. So I think fame here needn't be literal. I think it's symbolically inflated self-worth, social ascension, or the intoxicating effect of external admiration. And then comes the beautifully understated refrain. All right, okay. So when you look at that on paper, those are the simplest words imaginable, right? All right, okay. Yet, emotionally, they are laden with resignation, disbelief, and quiet devastation, perhaps sarcasm. It's the verbal equivalent of swallowing 1,000 unsaid sentences. And it's acknowledging betrayal without granting it the satisfaction of a dramatic confrontation. And the imagery of the next lines, I put you high in that tower and you can't even mind to look down. That continues the central metaphor with striking elegance, because towers, traditionally, when you think of it, they symbolize status, success, and elevation. But Faouzia subtly reminds us that every pedestal has an architect. She was the one who built it, only to discover that the higher someone rises, the easier it becomes for them to overlook the hands that lifted them up to that space. Interesting to see a post-chorus in a song. But anyway, the post-chorus pivots into something I think that's become progressively darker. Regret burns like cigarettes pressed to my face. Now that's intentionally abrasive. It's abandoning refined symbolism of gifts and towers in favor of visceral imagery that captures the searing permanence of emotional wounds. And yet, the final declaration that she makes, you live a life to realize it's your mistake. Again, that isn't framed as revenge, but as inevitability. There is no triumphant promise of retribution, merely the quiet conviction that time itself will become her advocate. It is wonderfully mature songwriting, contrasting external success with internal emptiness, and suggesting that the greatest consequence of taking love for granted is not immediate punishment, but the slow, inescapable realization of what was irretrievably lost. Okay, all right, okay. So let's keep it going. This is quickly becoming one of my favorites, although it's very difficult to beat unethical. But here we go.
To realize it's your mistake now.
Oh.
Soon you're gonna learn. You're rather unfazed, but it's just a phase. It's bound to get worse.
Great writing.
I'm knee deep in emotion. It's almost at my hips. My lips are open. I'm gonna breathe it in. I think I'm drowning. The rush is in my head. I feel it pounding. I'm way too young for this.
I love that admission.
Your celebration, what's gonna happen with the decorations I put up with my bare hands, love and patience. songs. I gave you all of your power.
Little bit of belt.
Wrapped it in a bow for your birthday. Your friends act like you're famous now, and I'm like, alright, okay. I put you high in that tower, and
Oh.
you can't even mind to look down, babe.
Oh.
Your friends act like you're famous now, and I'm like, alright, okay, alright, okay, okay. Regret burns like cigarettes pressed to my face. Alright, okay, okay. You'll live a life to realize it's your mistake.
Oh, and we're back to that. Oh. I love this. This is definitely in my top 2. Oh, great vocal dexterity.
You'll live a life to realize it's your mistake.
Oh, so good. So good. I loved everything about that. Her vocals were extraordinary. The music was so stunning. But the lyrics, it's been a while since I saw such a classic writing structure in terms of pre-chorus, chorus, post-chorus. So, I mean, I'm a huge fan of that. I love that. If more contemporary artists could write like that, music would be a lot better instead of the shit that we hear on the radio. Again, I really loved the second verse that she had before going into pre-chorus, chorus, post-chorus. It's astonishing in its brevity, yet it carries the quiet confidence of someone who has already seen the ending long before the other person has even reached the middle of the story. Soon you're gonna learn. So that immediately shifts Faouzia from heartbroken participant to detached observer, almost as though experience has granted her a perspective their former partner has yet to acquire. It's magnificent songwriting again, because when you come to the next line, you're rather unfazed, but it's just a phase. Great rhyming. It's particularly incisive because it dismantles emotional indifference as a temporary illusion rather than a permanent truth. So in other words, numbness is not healing. It is just delayed feeling. And the understated warning that she gives, it's bound to get worse, so that lands with remarkable restraint from her. There is no theatrical curse or vindictive outburst, only the sober acknowledgement that consequences have a habit of arriving long after our choices are made. Sometimes, and I speak from personal experience here, sometimes the deepest regret doesn't announce itself immediately. It gathers quietly before revealing its full weight. And from a songwriter's perspective, I just have to commend the structure here. It's so unbelievably refreshing to hear a contemporary pop song embrace the old classic architecture of verse, pre-chorus, and then post-chorus. It's been a while since I've heard anyone write like that. And that progression just creates a wonderful sense of momentum for the song, with each section serving a distinct emotional purpose rather than simply repeating melodic ideas. So going back to that, sorry, I digressed. The pre-chorus steadily tightens the emotional tension. The chorus delivers the central thematic release, and the post-chorus lingers like an aftertaste, allowing the emotional impact to resonate long after the hook has passed. It's a timeless framework, and of all people, I am so glad that Faouzia employs it with remarkable finesse, as I'd expect. And this proves that traditional song structure remains every bit as compelling when paired with thoughtfully emotional thank you, Faouzia, for this. This is probably my second favorite song from her after Unethical. If you haven't watched some of my other Faouzia reactions, the link for that will be in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And a massive thank you to everyone who has donated to the channel. If you are able to, please consider supporting this channel financially. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, do be kind, do be gentle, do be respectful to one another, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Cheers.